Someone asked me if I can shoot a comprehensive video on these three boys calling themselves FBI. Yes, it is possible to shoot several comprehensive videos on them, but I will only shoot one. Bear with me should this video be long, but I'll try as much as possible to cover topics that are not covered by other bloggers. Are the boys a security concern? Yes, they are a big security concern. And I should advise both the NIS and the CRIB to have several sessions with them as a matter of national importance. NIS people know. CRIB, I'm a founder member of CRIB. It was part of a special branch during our time, but it is a fully fledged department within it is a fully fledged department within the DCI. This is Crime Research and Intelligence Bureau. Their mandate is to find out. You see, the way these boys are doing things, if you ask me, most likely they are doing it out of bravado. They are not knowing that they are playing with more fire than they can handle. Most probably, but I may be underrating them, but maybe they know exactly what they are doing. But it is possible that they are doing what they are not knowing, and so they should be advised by CRIB. Or alternatively, they are very much in it, and CRIB plus NIS should watch and take precautionary measures. But from where I am, most likely is that they are innocently entering into a hot zone, a lava place without knowing. They are entering a lava zone without knowing. I watched one of the podcast shoot and I came to various opinions that even after the interview, even after an interviewer warned him severally of when the interviewer warned him severally of the dangers that he was directing to himself, he seemed incapable of appreciating the danger to himself first and those around him. And if he had any slight idea, it seemed he liked the act of dangerhood to an extent that there's no problem with placing yourself in danger if it is justifiable. But for the sake of optics, I would not have I would not have encouraged him. Uh, Possessing of guns, real or not, is a danger to yourself. Possession of guns, whether they are real or toys, is a danger to yourself. First and foremost, crooks may be interested in those guns and may try to gain them. You see, if you are a licensed gun owner, there are measures that the government does to monitor your firearms, and even they have to inspect how you keep the arms safely. But if you are not licensed, then you are posing a danger to yourself. Suppose you stay in a compound, one individual, you stay in a compound and you have firearms. Forget about the police knowing and coming up for the guns. So forget about that. Just assume that the crooks know that you have that. You are putting yourself and the people in that compound into mortal danger, because those crooks, when they come, they will not just tell you tafadhali tusaidie na hiyo kitu tuondoke nayo. They'll come up with dangerous intention. So display of such arms, you are displaying, you are exposing yourself and those around you in mortal danger. A recruit in Kiganjo is taught of firearm licenses. If I recall properly, there are few people who are not supposed to have firearm licenses. These are the people who shoot pistols during athletic races. And then there are these people in the slaughterhouses who kill. I am told there are some animals where you cannot slaughter using a knife or a sword. You have to shoot it. Those slaughterhouses don't need firearm licenses. But then everybody else, you have to have a firearm license, and the Firearms Bureau has to monitor you. As for those in the movie industries who use mostly imitative guns, they are licensed, even if they are imitative or fake guns or toys. This gentleman gives a history of himself as starting off from National Youth Service, then he joined KDF, then joined the National Intelligence Services, then the US Army. This brings me to the interviews that are made public. There's something that people forget when they are doing interviews publicly, which I want to share with you. It is a different game ball if you are interviewed for private viewing, something just aside there. But if you are being interviewed or filmed for millions of viewers, a dozen of the viewers will poke holes in your story. First and foremost, if true what he's saying, he reminds me a lot. He reminds me of Kihingo. Kihingo, his full name is, if I can recall, Peter Musabi Kihingo. Kihingo joined the Tanzania military, and being a person from the boundary of Kenya and Tanzania, that is, was a courier by tribe, he was sent by the Tanzanian military to join the KDF with an aim of getting sketches of the KDF tanks in Gilgil. What am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say here that in the intelligence world, joining various military formations in different armies is a telltale story of a spy. If it is true that he joined this, he has not stayed for long, he has moved to another, he has not stayed for long. For any intelligence organization, be it civilian, be it military, it shows that you are a spy and you are a target. It shows that you are exposing yourself as a spy, and the intelligence organization should monitor you. On a very personal level, I doubt whether the boy joined the National Youth Service, the KDF, the National Intelligence Services, and the American military in that very, very short period. Even for a spy who has been sent to go and spy all those organizations, you don't join all the, forget about the NYS. Let us talk about KDF. Let us talk of NIS and the American military. Joining them in that very short period would really raise red flags. For one to join KDF and suddenly join NIS, it has to be something like Special Operation Group. In a case of special operation group, it is usually someone who was talent spotted while still in civilian life, preferably while still in school. This is not just like a stall in a market where you visit one stall after another one. You go to the stall where they're selling vegetables, you leave that stall, you go to another stall where they're selling clothes within 5 minutes. No, 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 no. In security services, especially if you're somebody to join allied groups such as special operation team, you have to be vetted for a long time and you have to undergo a very strenuous thing. You don't go to these allied groups and work for each for 2 years and then move. National Security Committee can decide to have several youths attend such courses, and a syllabus then is jointly prepared by various groups, and the students are then recruited. Such trainings, such trainings as those ones you saw in TV in recent occasions. I'm saying recently, a few TV stations showed about the special operation groups in Northeastern. The lead group in this case was the NIS, but you'll find that in their training manual and whatever, they involve other formations, because you may find that when it comes to things such as weapon training and such a thing, the KDF would take that aspect. When it comes to the issue of intelligence gathering, then they can use the NIS and to some extent DCI in such lessons. But it is a coordinated thing and it is very expensive, and a government cannot just train and let you walk scot free. This is a very expensive thing. This is something that goes on with a thorough, what do you call, thorough vetting, and the vetting which is done by various organizations, and a lot of money is used in training you. During my time, we did not have SOGs. At least we did not have SOGs in Kenya. But yet at a later stage, we started having SOGs in the government. So the government of Kenya used to do this. For you to join such an organization, you have to sign that if it's not for other natural causes such as death or sickness, then if it is not for such occasions as unavoidable circumstances, you have to commit yourself to work for them. And if my calculation is not wrong, you have to work for them for not less than 10 years. I am not an expert in the US military. The little that I know is that we have foreigners joining the US military, but there is a procedure. You know, the military, if Kenya, the discipline forces do a thorough vetting, then I would expect the US military to do a more thorough vetting than even the Kenyan security forces. So telling us that he just went to America for 3 years, reaching America, Corona stopped him, and then he joined the military. There is a Kikuyu word that says, Henia ado anyu. Look for people from your home area to cheat, but not us. He just admitted to have joined the US military, and in the Kenyan laws, you joining military requires permission from the KDF. Yes, you are a civilian. You are a civilian, and you want to join the military, the foreign militaries. In Kenya, it is a crime unless you get permission from KDF. You go to the KDF, tell them, I want to join the American army. They give you clearance. For it is treasonable for a Kenyan to join another military without the permission of the KDF. That is, if he really joined the US military. In 3 years, he was trained by the US military, and his unit was to attend an exercise in a foreign country, but he was changed. He does not know what he's saying. But as a NIS veteran, I'm trying to say that he's trying to tell us that he was placed there as a spy to spy the military, the US military within the US. So being taken to a place like El Salvador and whatever, he would not have spied on the American military the way. So he's trying to tell us that he was a spy being sent there. He is not knowing that he's talking on things which are very serious. And you know, in the intelligence world, trying to say that you are a double agent or a triple agent is very dangerous. It is like going to a shooting range and then trying to cross the shooting range as the trainees are undergoing their training. You can be killed by several, not even one. But the gentleman is originally from he come I think he comes from a place where somebody was called Embarambara. So maybe it is what they call Nyasore. I don't know. I'll also talk about the Todonyang cop. I'll also talk about the Todonyang cop. The young cop started off well. He talked well. He talked on TikTok and said that it was bad for cops to get instructions which were not taught in Kiganjo, they were being told that they shoot to kill, whereas in Kiganjo recruits are taught the justifiable uses of firearm. He was very okay there and whatever, but then there is a lawyer saying that or what we can say, was it Jim Reeves who said, was it Ken Rogers who said, uh, a good gambler knows when to walk away. If he would have just said about Todonyang and left, that was okay. But he has even spoiled it by joining, not even joining, giving an impression that he's joining a militia when there is even no militia there. He himself, you have heard me complaining about the misuse of anti-terror groups. The Todonyang and the three guys have just voluntarily entered themselves into the wrong books of the anti-terror group. If he would have continued the way he had done about Todonyang on TikTok and social media, he was going on okay. But these boys may not know what they are doing about. You do not enter into a grass-thatched house with what in Kiswahili is called mwenge. You don't enter into a grass-thatched house with a fire torch. You will get burned. Other more revolutionary youths will get motivated and commit crime. Now, I'll also talk about this. Is it called Kop Shakur? Well, that one to me appears to be the more what do you call motivated when it comes to the doctrine, but there are some bravados which borders on stupidity, and it is not yet too late for these three young men to own up and be forgiven and criticize the government rightly. And no need of criticizing government and showing guns or anything. The best gun a government can be used for are two. a voter's card, and an ID. Just that, nothing else.